Hello, and welcome back to another Fishy Plant Man production with me, Fishy Plant Man, as your host. Okay, the bird is going off in the background, so I don't know, you might be able to hear her occasionally. She's quite a ways away. It's a decent sized house, so I don't know if you can hear her or not. But anyway, the Phalanopsis have made it into their gravel pots. That's Rick L. has got that channel, and that's the effect he is having on me. Great respect to the man. Yeah, I would have never thought about growing in like gravel, and this gravel isn't quite what I had in mind, but I think it'll do. The plants seem to have responded to it some. This one I'm gonna let sit here, let the air work its way up from the bottom as well as the top. I gave it a drink not long ago, but long enough ago that it shouldn't have just came out of the water 5 minutes ago. So it's going to sit here and dry out as quickly as it possibly can. I'm not going to panic and drill a bunch of holes in the side of the pot, but yeah, it's going to dry out as fast. It's had, I think, about 72 hours of sitting in water now. So yeah, it should be plenty hydrated, and we'll let it dry out a bit. But it's doing well. That's its newest leaf. Well, not its newest. Technically, I believe there's another leaf starting down there. So, if it's bigger than this leaf, fantastic. My guess is the third leaf will start as this gets, halfway, maybe a little more to the size of this leaf. Because I think I may have set it back again with the media change. But yeah, necessities. Its spikes are still doing well. We follow this one up. I clipped it to stabilize the plant more than anything else. All the way to the top, it is green. And its other one, which sticks out yonder, past that pot, comes all the way out, it is green. So, that one is doing quite well, maybe a bit waterlogged. This one is also in gravel, but it just got water poured over it, and it seems sufficient. So I didn't set it in water. Therefore, I didn't forget about it sitting in water. And yeah, it didn't get, it just got watered, and everything seems fine. These roots seem to be greening up a little bit. Yeah, there's the yellow one that hasn't, but we'll see. It's also got that black elbow that I don't care about. So, we'll see what happens. It is not growing a leaf as far as I can tell. And if we follow its spikes up, which have been cut, okay, this is the one that just isn't doing anything. And we'll follow the other one up from the base. This is the one I cut back to where it was dying, but not quite into green tissue. It seems to have put, well, that's a good shake for the plant. it seems to have put an abrupt end to that idea of dying. It's got a very sharp line there. On the one side, it's brown, but on the other, it's dark green, right up to that line. So I think it's put an abrupt stop to this eating the spike, as I call it, and it's not going to do that no more. It's just going to keep its spikes now. They look good and healthy. I should probably still dust the plant, but the spikes look healthy. They don't look like they're going to die back anymore. It's had a couple of waterings, so, you know, it's gotten some nutrition from the aquarium that I don't think it had with distilled water. And I suspect it's just going to sit for a little bit and, you know, settle itself and decide what it wants to do next. And I'm going to let it. I'll put it back up in its spot and we'll just take care of it and wait to see what it does next. Now, to put some padding on this video a little bit, the growing lucky bamboo beyond 4 feet, at least this one, doesn't seem to be doing too well. We're down to 2 leaves now, and I've decided, like, you know, this one over here is not necessarily doing anything either. But I've decided that I will do effectively a water change. And that's when I add water to this. I'm going to overflow it a bit. Well, not going to. I have been overflowing it just a little bit. So effectively giving something of a water change. Not something I wanted to do. But we're down to 2 leaves. And that's at least one thing I'm going to do. I've considered moving it, but I don't know that it's the location. This one back here is doing alright. This one over here is doing alright. Nobody seems to be growing, but they're doing alright. This one is just slowly going backwards. On my growing scale, well, we're at about a 0.2. 0.2. Not 2.0. 0.2. Much further, and it will be dead. This one over here, on the other hand, this one I'll put at like a 0.5. It's not really growing, but it's not actively dying either. So, there's that. This, as far as I can tell, is the newest leaf on the little monstera. Got 5 holes. Yeah. Oh, okay, this one here, let me look over the top so I can count them. That one's got 6. Seems to be losing a hole the higher it gets. Because this one has 8. That one's got 6. This one's got 5. This one over here has 6. Yeah, it's just kind of doing its thing. So, yeah. Overall, everybody's doing fairly well. This golden pothos, I kind of tweaked it a little bit. The one that was hanging on to the aquarium, let go. Because I'm, taking it around the corner and it's going this way now. I'm going to go across the front here. So yeah, when I repositioned it and resecured it, the one that had hung on let go. But it's growing. It seems to be growing a little faster than its counterpart back here, which needs to take off and go behind the plants. I'm just letting it get a little longer first. So yeah, overall, everybody is doing well, except the basket plant. And it's doing well too, really. When I moved this, I put it back into its spot or took it out to look at it or something. Anyway, I moved it and I broke the basket plant. Here it is growing off in this direction quite well. Yeah, it's just kind of all over in this pot. But there. Used to come out and go across here. But that plant, that Phalanopsis, lives right behind the dragon guy here. And I pushed on it just a little bit, and it was so crisp that it just broke. So I cut it back a little bit further, lined it up with the pot, and there's a piece. That's what was sticking out after it broke, so I just cut it off to line it up with the pot. Stuck that in the soil and threw the big branch away. I've got 2. I really don't need more than 2. So, yeah. A little bit of foliage got tossed, but that's life. Since I'm over here, the lucky bamboo, where we cut it off for its own health. Yep, it's starting. It's going to have that shoot come out, and we'll see how high it gets. Alright. For now, we'll just come over here and end with the frog. Hi, Kermit. He's not Kermit. There is no way I'm calling him Kermit. But, whatever I call him, I'll talk to you next time. Alright. Looks like we're going to put a little bit on the end, because this first node below the flowers looks like that's going to branch. Kind of goes with my careful of what advice you take, I guess I'll say. Because while it is not, at least not yet, extending from the tip, this is the first node. We'll follow it around. Yeah. The first node that is not a flower node, which is this one up here, that's the last flower node. The very first node below it looks like it's going to branch. So if I would have came down and counted, I don't know, 3 or 4 nodes and then cut. Okay, there's node 1. Okay, first node, second node, third node. Okay, fourth node's up here, and it's still 1-2 nodes higher than that. Okay, I would have lost that branch, if indeed it's a branch. We'll know soon enough. But that's why I don't like to cut them. Any advice on cutting, and I suspect, with maybe the exception of mine, which I don't know why I would do it with it still green, because I know that that tip could extend. But if it was dying back and the tip was gone, I might cut, just after the last flower node and just above this first node that could do something. So if I would just cut the flower nodes off, I wouldn't have gone far enough. Oh, I was thinking that was it. No, it's down here. But still, I would have cut between it and the flower node. Okay. The tip wouldn't be able to extend, but I wouldn't have eliminated this branching opportunity. Well, looks like it's going to branch. We'll see how it does. Okay. We'll try talking to you next time again.